Hi, I'm Bruce Justinian with SEASOFT Scuba, and I want to talk to you about something that's just dear to my heart because I simply am a dry suit diver. I've got over 5,000 dives, dry suit diving, and I live in the Pacific Northwest. You can see it's been raining, there are pine needles all around me, and this is where we dive year-round in dry suits. We don't use wetsuits, we just do dry suits. And I want to talk to you today about SEASOFT Drysuits specifically because we just believe they're better. And I'm going to show you today why they are. So I want to talk to you about SEASOFT Drysuits. So I'm going to start from the feet and move on my way up. So here goes. One of the things that I think is important is to have good footwear. And good footwear means not having a bedroom slipper. It means having an elevated heel like you would have on your tennis shoes. An elevated heel means having an elevated heel, which means that your heel is higher than your toe. In order to do that, you have to have some type of wedge device in the heel that brings your heel up higher than your toes so that you're tilted forward. What that does is put the center of gravity on your toes instead of on your heel. A lot of boots out there look like athletic footwear, but all they are is really bedroom slippers in disguise. And then you also have to have an arch support underneath the sole. An arch support isn't on the side, an arch support's at the bottom. And what that does is when you put an arch support in your arch, it keeps your foot from sliding laterally like this. When you do that, you end up with just a real good set of footwear for yourself. So we do that. Also, when you get a dry suit, you don't want a seam in the crotch. So when you go from the back to the front, you don't want a seam across there. What that does is, that's one of the biggest places for leaks, is a seam in the crotch. Well, it's really expensive to do that when you have a seam across there, because when you do, you're creating 1, 2, 3, 4 places for there to be leaks. And when you take that away, you end up with just eliminating one of the biggest places for dry suits to leak. So we don't do that, and we're one of the only companies that builds a dry suit that way. More expensive, but the way you'd build a dry suit for yourself if that's what you were going to do. Now, I think the biggest difference, what I'm going to show you right now, is the biggest difference between us and everybody else, and it's this. We do a raglan sleeve, what's known as a raglan sleeve. You notice how wide that sleeve is, and that's called a raglan sleeve. Now that does a whole pile of things when we do that, and here's what some of the things are. First of all, when you have a raglan sleeve, by creating that really wide sleeve, you open the whole chest area up. So all the way across here, it's nice and loose with lots of freedom of movement. So the suit, instead of being tight as most suits are across here, the suit's nice and loose. Secondly, when I'm trying to get air to the valve, instead of the air being trapped, as so often it is, in different pockets around the chest, the air has freedom to move to that valve. And you'll notice where I have the valve. The valve's the only place it should be. Can you imagine having the inflator on your BC being somewhere other than the highest point? Can you imagine having the hose on your BC being down here or halfway up your BC? No, it's at the top, so when you lift that hose, you off-gas or exhaust the air out of your BC from the highest point. Well, that's simply what we're doing here. And let me tell you how that works. If you'll notice, when I lift my arm like this, I want you to notice my sleeve gets tight. So in a regular dry suit, when I lift my arm to exhaust, I'm driving that valve into the undergarment, and I'm restricting the flow of the air out of the dry suit. However, when I lift my arm, like so, this funnel allows the air to come up. It actually lifts the valve off the undergarment. It allows this exhaust to be up to 5 times higher exhaust rate than a shoulder mounted dump would be. What that means is that instead of you having a restricted flow and having to struggle with your buoyancy in a dry suit, I can off gas or exhaust my suit just like that so that the air is exhausted quickly and easily instead of struggling with that bubble, 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 bubble while the air is expanding in your suit. So very quickly and easily I can teach a new student to exhaust the air out of their suit and get buoyancy control right back again instead of struggling to gain control as the air is slowly coming out of the suit. So that's one of the biggest reasons to get our suits is to have that valve right there and to have that funnel that takes the air, moves it to the exhaust valve on the forearm and exhausts it quickly. Now, here's one of the other great things about it is we have a TI Super Seal zipper at the back. What that does is this is the only zipper that you can buy in any suit that's going to allow you to zip yourself into it. And I'm going to demonstrate that right now because I'm going to put this suit on and zip myself into it while you're watching. And so to put a suit on correctly, I'm going to turn that suit inside out like this. I'm going to slip my shoes off, and as you can see, I'm not dressed exactly right for the Great Pacific Northwest. It's been raining out, so I put that one on. Slip this boot in. Now the correct way is to put my arms in right from here, and when I do that, notice the suit slides right up. That easy. Now, when you get to this point, I've got to create tension across the back. So I do that by bringing my arm inside and grabbing it. And what I do is I grab the zipper like so, and I'm going to grab this now. And when I do, I'll straighten this arm. And just like that, I'm zipped into the suit. Tuck my seals. I'm ready to go diving. Now, an old guy ready to go diving, but hey, if an old guy like me can put a suit on that quickly, imagine what you can do. Now to take it off, you just reverse all the steps I just did. But before I show you that, I want to show you how I raise my arm, raglan sleeve, all the air goes to the exhaust, lifts the exhaust valve off, and the air quickly goes when I'm diving. Notice if I was to bring my arm up like this, that's tight right there where the valve would normally be on a lot of other people's suits, would restrict the flow. Here, valve's nice and loose, no problem. Exhaust up to 5 times faster. Thank you to that motorcycle for that little help right there. Alright, so you can see that that's just an easy dry suit to dive, easy to put on, easy to take off, easy to use. So now to take it off, I'm going to bring my arm inside. Again, I've got to create that tension across the back for the zipper. I grab it like that, get a hold of the zipper, arm behind my back, pull it, take it off, and there you go. Now, one of the things I want to mention is the suits we have, because a lot of people don't understand what we have as suits. We make a TX3. Now the TX3 is a lightweight neoprene suit that's fantastic for diving in, let's say, Southern California, in Florida, in the springs, in cave diving, those kind of places. It's 3.5 millimeters, and it's a fantastic suit. Then I want to talk about the TX. It's a 4.5 mil suit. For the money, it's a suit I love diving here. It's the one I'm actually wearing right here. It's a fantastic suit. Wearing a Great Lakes, you wear it almost anywhere you want to go. I've used it for ice diving, almost anything. Then, if you want to leave those kind of suits, you want to get back to something that's like more for you hardcore guys, or shipwrecks and rebreathers and that. You want to look at the TI 3000 and TI 5000. The TI 3000 is a 3.5 mil compressed neoprene suit covered in Dynahide. It's almost a forever suit. You almost couldn't outdive it. It's going to be just a suit that's tough. Dive probably 1,000 dives on it before you've got to be looking at a new one. And then you've got the TI 5000, which I call our I've never been warm before suit, because that's what I hear the most. If you're somebody who's never been warm diving before, the TI 5000 suit, I don't care where you are, how cold the water is. If you've never been warm before diving in anybody else's suit, the TI 5000 is a suit that you're going to be warm in. As a matter of fact, I've actually had 2 of them over the years returned to me because they were too warm. So there's the 4 suits you probably want to choose from, and all of them affordable, less expensive than the leading dry suits out there, and you know who I'm talking about. If you have any questions about anything that I've said about dry suits or any of our dry suits that SEASOFT makes, you go to our website, there's more information there, or you can call me at SEASOFT Scuba, 253-939-5510. If you are looking to buy a dry suit, I'd be happy to help you. Or, you watch this video 25 times till you know it better than I do. Anyway, I just appreciate you watching, and thank you very much, and safe diving to you.